21. Can you do something for me? The MVP, Joel Embiid. We're going to talk about that today. And obviously, Dillon Brooks, he's a chatterbox, but there's a situation going on with him. Where's he going to end up next season and moving forward? Let's talk about it here on Hoop Talks.
Just give me a second here, okay? Just give me a second here.
Why do you always take over?
What the hell was that?
21.
That was so cringe. That's like
for me.
That's like a Noor level joke right there.
Bro, it works.
Why am I catching strays?
You were 21. 21, can you do something for me? MVP, MB, come on, man.
I can't listen to that
Put
song
some respect
anymore.
on my name, bro.
I can't
This is your MVP.
It is my MVP. You disrespected him and Drake at the same
How
time.
am I disrespecting him?
21. Can you do something for me?
Okay, so how would you start the show?
He didn't say it like
How
that.
would you start the show?
Girls are fighting.
You know
Let
what?
them have it.
It's your
Thank you.
It's your block. Just take it.
I don't know what his issue is, guys. This is his MVP. He was feeling good today, right? Because I had Jokic, and I was wrong.
Jokic
right?
fanboys.
But yes, we have Joel MVP. Joel Embiid. Let me break it down for you. So here's how the voting went. Okay, so he had 73 of the first place votes. All right, Nikola, he had 15 of those. Giannis had 12, and then obviously Nikola, he kind of cleared them in terms of the second place votes, and then Giannis had a bunch of the third place. But with this being said, okay, so this is the first MVP, of course, right? Long overdue, I would say. So, Justin, since you love the man so much,
I'm surprised you went to him first because you guys are fighting.
No, I want to hear.
He wants me to get my
look. He got it. He got it right. His MVP. Congratulations to Joel.
Mm-hmm. We had a vote, so
yeah. So enjoy. Go ahead,
guys.
Just go ahead.
Coronation of Joel Embiid as the best center in the NBA. Nikola Jokic fanboys, we got 2 words for you, and to quote DX, you can suck it. Yeah, it's all in the numbers here. It's all in the numbers here. Look at Joel Embiid right here, 30.6 points per game. Led the league in scoring for not one, but the second straight year. First center to do that since Shaquille O'Neal. Joel Embiid also played 68 games this year. So for everybody out there that says, oh, Joel Embiid doesn't play, he doesn't play. He played 68 games this year. That was quite impressive. He's obviously hurt, but he's coming back for game 2, right? And also, look, he's the most dominant center in the league. Giannis is the most dominant player, but he's the most dominant big man, and he does it on both ends of the floor. Of course, he's a 3-time all defensive team, right? Nikola Jokic, although his defense has improved, it's not on the same level. And look, Nikola, if you're gonna be a 3-time MVP, right, 3 straight years, you have to be something of an icon, a great, a legend. I don't think Nikola Jokic is that. He's not. He's a great player, but he's not. He doesn't deserve to have 3 straight MVPs. He doesn't deserve it. He was not warranted to have 3 straight MVPs. If LeBron James can't get 3 straight MVPs, if Michael Jordan never got 3 straight MVPs, if Kobe Bryant didn't get 2 straight MVPs, what makes Nikola Jokic worthy to get 3 straight MVPs?
Because his team's
I want to
number
hear from
one.
Noor and Crina.
No.
Yeah.
Because his team's number one. Why wouldn't it? If they're winning, he's helping the team. He's the main
Sixers
guy.
came third in the East.
It's a regular season awards, so
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, but
that's
the
the
Sixers are a
case.
good team. Sixers are a good team.
But
so.
if that's the case, okay, I know it's a regular season award too, and I will say I think for me it's going to be Embiid, because if you look at Embiid's points over the course of the year versus compared to Nikola Jokic, Embiid's putting up numbers. Embiid's doing things that we don't get to see at his height sometimes. Well, is he flopping over when he does that? Yes. Is he injuring his own teammates while he does that? Absolutely. But it doesn't stop him from putting up the numbers, and he will do that constantly. Only thing is, again, it doesn't factor in anymore, so it is what it is. But the fact that the Celtics lost to a Philadelphia team without Joel Embiid in the roster still tells me that maybe Philly is still it's still a good team. It's not like Embiid's like, anchoring them through, which he obviously is when the going gets tough, when you have certain matchups and stuff. But overall, like especially against the Celtics, where you thought you would need to have him be in the lineup, you saw Harden go off. He had 45 points. So that's all I gotta say on that.
I think also one of the biggest things was that I think in the second half of the season, Joel Embiid played a lot better than Nikola Jokic did on both sides of the floor, and I think that was a factor. Whereas like at the beginning of the season, it was pretty like close race between them two, and like you said, like 3 MVPs in a row is pretty hard to do.
Very hard.
Very hard to do. And so I think that's what kind of factored into it. Joel Embiid is the best player on the 76ers. He's the guy. He attracts so much attention on the floor. Yes, the team doesn't have a terrible record without him, but at the same time, what are they without him? So I think, he really, really deserves this award, and I'm glad he finally
I just want to say, just shout out to basketball globally, right? The last 5 MVPs have not come from the United States of America. Giannis back-to-back, Nikola Jokic back-to-back, and now Joel Embiid. So look, again, the last 5 years has shown you that basketball has grown so much as a global game. And look, next year Luka could win MVP, right?
Or maybe Joel might win again.
Maybe Shea Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP next year, right?
He got a vote, right?
He got a third place vote, I think. Third or place vote, something like that. But look, I think when we look at the landscape, it was also Joel Embiid's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened to James Harden. He came second how many straight years, and then they gave him the MVP, right? And again, Joel Embiid, I said from the start, I would take him over Nikola Jokic as my center. I think he's just more of a dominating presence on both ends of the court. And I also just think that it was his time. He deserved to win an MVP. He had been kind of passed over the last couple of years because of Jokic, right? And this year, he took over. He solidified himself. His team was a top 3 seed. They had a way better second half, as you mentioned, than the Denver Nuggets, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what took him apart. I think that game, remember that game against Boston? That, again, Jaylen Brown didn't play in their short end, but he scored, 50-plus points that game, right? Put the team on his back. He is the Philadelphia 76ers. Yes, James Harden had a great game, won against the Boston Celtics, but they're not going anywhere without that big man in the middle, number 21.
Yeah, and real quick, Shea had 6 fourth-place votes, so shout out to him and Canada. As for me, I had Jokic all year long, so I'm gonna defer because look, I don't hate Embiid. I think
Your Raptors fan is coming out a little bit right there.
Pardon?
Your Raptors fandom coming out a little bit.
In a way, because the little rivalry we have with them. So obviously we want to see him lose, but I think that this was deserved. Okay, you're looking at the numbers, right? Obviously, you pointed out the fact that he's scoring champion this year, but you're talking top 10 in points per game, rebounds per game, right? Blocks per game, first in 35-point games this year, obviously, right? So you're looking at that. You're looking at how they've won games. The Sixers are a good team, right? He's the leader of that, and it's a regular season award, of course, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to take anything away from him. And yes, a lot of people who are in the Jokic camp, like myself,
I was gonna say,
right? They talk about the whole joke about the pity MVP and a sympathy award. I'm gonna be real, like you can't call it a pity MVP. 33 and 10.
He led the league in scoring.
This is the first 33 and 10 years since the merger, right? So I will give him a lot of respect. I think it was long overdue for him. He was knocking on the door. Like I knew it was gonna happen at some point. Had to. Right, I'd be shocked if he ended his career without one of these. So I want to see how he continues to play down the line. But yeah, shout out to Joel Embiid for the MVP, most valuable player for 2023. But now let's move to Memphis, right? I know they're out, right? But there's one man, obviously, that we know very well because we are in the North. He is Canadian, and he is Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks. The news with him and the Grizzlies is very interesting, right? Because the Grizzlies, they came out, right? And they said to him, they informed Dillon, we are not bringing you back under any circumstances. But on the bright side, Shams, he comes out and says an early look around the market indicates that there will be some interest for Dillon Brooks. So what's
From
next
China?
for him? Huh?
From China, interest?
From China? Oh, no, he did not pull out the China jokes. But what team out there should look at him, or teams should look at him and try to bring him in?
The Houston Rockets, maybe. Like, that's just off the top of my head. I know there's a lot of people talking about the Raptors. God, I really hope they don't do that.
I don't want that. I'm
We
sorry.
need shooting. I think I'm okay.
We need shooting.
Justin, why
We
that
need
face?
shooting. What are you talking about?
Dillon Brooks and the Raptors would be absolutely sensational.
Why?
Why?
Just because he's Canadian doesn't mean
Because
shit.
he has the mentality. He's
No, bro.
not scared of anybody. He went at LeBron.
He can't even go have a presser afterwards. He's that, scared. Are
mentality
you
is the
talking
same
to me?
thing that's having him out of Memphis.
Well, there's a whole lot of things in Memphis that need to mature.
They
in
said
Memphis,
under no
right?
circumstances is he
Yeah.
allowed back in
That's
the
tough.
facility.
That's tough.
Under no, they cut every time. They said he's banished. He's never coming back no matter what happens. And I think that's the first time I've ever seen that happen in the NBA. I've never seen a team come out forthright and be like, you will never return here. And they said, you will never return. I feel bad for him because I do think he was some level of a scapegoat because they made so much noise. There was so much happening from the Grizzlies the entire season. They thought they were the ones that were going to make it far. We know the John Morant infamous interview with Malika Andrews where he's like, nobody's a problem in the West. It's the East I got to worry about. Like if that's how you're acting, and that's how we all knew about Dillon Brooks and his antics on the court too. And yes, you can't be that loud and then lose and then not also face the media afterwards. So you do catch a lot of flack for that, but was he a scapegoat? Absolutely.
So what team though, real quick, what team do you think, if there is one out there?
I think someone that probably needs a little bit of tenacity. As Crina said, I think Rockets will be pretty good. I also could see him actually
Lakers?
No.
Do you think so?
They need
Lakers, LA?
shooting.
Okay, so remember what happened with Matt Barnes and Kobe? Remember Matt Barnes faked the ball, and the next year Matt Barnes played with the Lakers.
I think
right?
Mavericks.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say Mavericks.
it would be
I
a very
think.
noisy locker room though, with Kyrie,
Perfect.
Luka, Dillon Brooks, right? Honestly,
But they don't have that they don't have someone who's going to be as greedy as Dillon Brooks would be, and I think that's where he could come.
As
shine
long
for the
as
Mavericks.
it's not Toronto, I just don't want to.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? Well, the antics with Dillon Brooks was one thing for sure, right? I think again, offensively, he's bad. I have the numbers right here. I think this year he shot.
Yeah,
he shat. Yeah, he shat.
Nice.
No, he shot. He shot from the field. 32% from the 3-point range. 39% from the field. Last year, guys, he averaged 18 points a game. Last year.
I know that.
Like he had a good year last year, right? And I think maybe just getting out of that Memphis organization. Again, he was the scapegoat and all of that, but just get that organization is so immature. They don't have that mature veteran presence right now. And I think if Dillon Brooks could get into a system like the Toronto Raptors with solid
Stop
leadership,
saying that. I don't want
right?
to do it on the same sentence.
I think that
Stop.
could actually help him, right?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see moving forward how it looks with Dillon Brooks, right? There will be a market for him. There will be a market, so don't be surprised if he's, not in China like y'all are joking about on Twitter. Okay?
No.
And thank you for tuning in today. We will be back real soon for more talks about hoop. This is Hoop Talks.